Now that Gary Brecka has been talking about it, you might have seen him on Joe Rogan, you might have seen him on the Sean Ryan show. But it's really interesting that you're finally being validated after 30 years. Modern farming, early harvesting, and food processing strips 80% of the nutrients from our food. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. That is why Dr. Whiting has been talking about full spectrum supplements and the full spectrum of nutrients to bring your body to the optimal health and wellness that it needs.
See, when you talk about the food chain, we're not just talking about who eats what.
Yeah.
And you eat that, and that eats you, and something else eats that. It's also about chemistry. You see, we have this belief, and it's not totally untrue, that fruits and vegetables provide vitamins.
Yeah.
They only can do that. In other words, those plants can make those chemicals,
Yes.
which we call vitamins, but they can only do it in the presence of certain trace minerals.
Yeah.
If the trace minerals are missing from the soil, we start a row of dominoes of destruction.
And so with that being said, when you talk about NPK and farming and how the trace minerals have been missing from the soil for how long?
Oh, at least probably by now. I mean, years ago I'd said 70 years. Probably it's 100 now.
Yeah. And so it's really important to realize what a good full spectrum vitamin looks like. And that would be 136 nutrients, amino acids, and the trace minerals.
Well, I figure as long as we're getting people to take them, we might as well get it all in at once.
Yeah, yeah. And that kind of leads me to John Howard and John Howard's longevity, the world's fastest man to ever ride a bicycle. He's been using the full spectrum supplement for well over 20 years. And he believes it helps him stay on top of his sport. And he recommends it to all of his students. Talk a little bit more about that.
John and I started working together, it must be nearly 25 years ago now. And in those days, he was a bit more wild than he is today.
Yeah.
After all, he's finally hit 80. But he still rides every day, by the way. And I was helping him heal and recover. And we found that certain nutrients, not just the electrolytes, but certain nutrients, primarily trace minerals, help the body to heal faster.
Yeah.
And that's why we eventually evolved into getting him on what we call our full spectrum supplement. And he's been so happy because it not only helped him with performance, it helped him with recovery, and he's 100% convinced that it helped him with longevity, keeping him and enabling him to still enjoy what he loves at 80 years of age.
Yeah. And what you're talking about is the best trace minerals from phoenixvitamins.com and high vitality liquid and high vitality capsules on phoenixvitamins.com. With that, Gary Brecka also talked about